Stella, we were wondering something.
When you have a good look around a garden or field, you find thousands of insects, but only a few birds.
Yeah, like sparrows and blackbirds.
And you hardly see any birds of prey.
Like hawks and kestrels.
I reckon it's because hawks have to hide to try and hunt the smaller birds.
But if there were as many hawks as sparrows, there wouldn't be enough food to go around, would there?
So I guess what we're asking is, why are there more smaller living things than larger ones, Stella?
I'm onto it. It's all to do with food eaten by every living thing on the planet and the energy in it. Now, energy gives all living things the means to do anything. I'm using energy now to walk and talk. But where does that energy come from? Well, food, yes. And food is an energy store from the sun. Now, I can feel some of the sun's energy as heat. But for me to be able to use this energy, it has to be transferred to the food that I will eventually eat through a chain of events. This chain is called a food chain. Now, all living things on the planet are part of the food chain, but whereas animals need to eat food to get their energy, green plants can produce it themselves by photosynthesis. And that's why they're always the first thing in the food chain.
Here's an example of a food chain. Energy from the sun is stored in plants. Snails eat the plants. Then they get eaten by small birds. Smaller birds are eaten by larger birds of prey.
So the energy is passed on or transferred from plant to snail, from snail to smaller bird, and eventually ends up in the larger bird. But it's often not as straightforward as a simple food chain.